Something wrong with recording. Recording has not started. Yeah, I think it has not started. Okay. So after hydrogen and helium, the electronic configuration in the ground state, which we saw as 1s and 1s2, and we worked yesterday very hard to see that helium 1s2 configuration does satisfy the antisymmetry requirement. Okay, so today we want to do two things. That what is the way forward? That means what happens to the next candidate. That means the atom which has more than 2 electrons. That means we are talking about lithium. So we want to see whether I can write 1s3 for helium or not. That is what we want to see. Understand? We want to see whether helium, sorry, after hydrogen and helium, lithium can be written as 1s3. That is the major objective of today's class. If yes, how is it? If it is not, why? And then what is the correct? What is the solution to that? That's what we want to do. But before we begin that, let me also tell you something that so far we have seen the influence of spin in the quantum mechanics was as if to make the levels degenerate. We did not see any dramatic influences in the energy values, right? Remember in the hydrogen and helium case? So let us see, so two things we want to see. First, let us see how for a 3 electron problem, irrespective of what is the electron configuration, how the 3 electron atom energy is influenced by spin. Okay, so we want to use a very little exercise in the perturbation theory. So suppose that you want to study, I am sure all of you have seen the perturbation theory problem that I have given in the helium case. Okay, so let us do the perturbation theory problem in the lithium case. So in the lithium case, it doesn't matter. So suppose you want to say 1s2, 2s, or or even 1s3. Let us suppose you take 1s3, right? Because I do not know what is the electron configuration of lithium. I want to pretend that after hydrogen and helium, everything is smooth. So I can put one more electron in the same house, which is the 1s orbital, right? So with this understanding, let us apply the perturbation theory in the configuration called 1s3. That means assume that 1s3 is all right. Okay. So if I want to do that, what is my H0? What is my H0 in this case? And what is my, so my wave function, my starting wave function should be what? I want to do a perturbation theory problem in this 1s3 configuration of the lithium atom, right? So what is my Hamiltonian? Very quickly, abhi time khatam ho raha hai, jaldi jaldi bolo. So I can write 1s1, 1s2, 1s3. 1s1, electron 1 is in the 1s orbital, electron 2 is in the 1s orbital, electron 3 is also in the 1s orbital. So my what is that called? Psi 0, right? Hamiltonian for this configuration is what? I will take the, so my psi 0 is, so psi 1s1, psi 1s2, and psi 1s3. That is the zeroth order wave function. And what is the zeroth order Hamiltonian of this problem? How many interactions are there in the Hamiltonian? Zeroth order Hamiltonian, H0 is equal to the 3 electron, but they are independent, right? Just like the hydrogen case, you have 2 electrons, but they are independent. That means you have an Hamiltonian. Can you please quickly write? What should be the H0 in this case? कोई बोल से सोमलिका, maybe today it is your day, okay? So just tell me, what is the H0 in this problem? What is H0 in this problem? I just wrote psi 0. What is my H? Bolo?
The del 1 square part for all the 3 electrons means
Okay.
minus h cut square by 2me del 1 square del 2 square. Then we have the minus z square by r1 minus z square by r2.
Why you say Z square?
Z e square.
Z e square. We are writing in the atomic unit. So H cross AME, this kind of thing we have written as 1. Okay. And then
the r3 means minus z by r3.
very good.
And then we have the 3 interactions means.
No, we are writing the H0.
Okay.
The total Hamiltonian, of course, should be having. But what is your H0? Sorry, H. That is separate. Do you have any other terms in H0?
No.
Are you sure, right?
Yes, sir.
You sure? Very good. So what is then my total Hamiltonian is H0 plus
H prime.
H prime. Very good. So what is my H prime now? Please tell me.
1 by R12 plus 1 by R23.
1 by R?
23.
23.
Plus 1 by R31.
Plus 1 by R13. Anything else?
No.
Very good. So H0 and H prime, right? H0 is known to you. Sorry, H0 solution is what? H0 satisfies the Schrodinger equation?
Yes.
Right? So H0 psi is equal to E0 psi I. So that the total wave function for the H0 will be the product of these 3 orbitals. Because why? Because minus half grade square minus Z1 minus Z over R1. This is H1. So H0 I can write as H1, sorry, H0 for the 1 electron plus H0 for the second electron plus H0 for the third electron, right? Where H0 I means ith electron is minus half grad I square minus Z over Ri. Right?
Yes, sir.
This is how we have worked. So the total wave function. So the zeroth order wave function is a product function of these 3 orbitals. Okay? And what is the zeroth order energy then? What is zeroth order energy now? What is zeroth order energy?
Minus Z square into 1 by N1 square plus into 1 by N2 square plus 1 by N3 square.
What is N1, N2, N3?
So,
what are in? Bolo?
The 3 quantum numbers means 1 is 1 for 1 is 1, 1 is 2, and 1 is 3.
What do you mean by 3 quantum numbers? N1, N2, N3. What are those? Tell me now. N1 is?
All 3 are 1.
All 3 are 1. That's right. Because all of them are in the 1s orbital. Very good. So I will write. So now you got it. So it is 1 over 1 square plus 1 over 1 square plus 1 over 1 square. Okay. Of course, with a minus, big minus. And then Z square over 2E0. That's the energy. Sorry, 2A0. That's the energy. Right? So what is Z in this case?
Z equals to 3.
Z is equal to 3. Very good. So that becomes minus 27 into the energy of hydrogen. So minus 27 into 13.6 electron volt, okay? So that gives you minus 367.4 electron volt. That is H0, right?
Yes.
That is the E0, sorry, E0, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is my first order correction to energy now? Okay, very good. So far you are doing very good. So what is now my first order correction to energy?
H Nn prime.
H?
Nn prime.
Yes, that's right. So what do I write here?
Psi 0.
Psi 0, very good.
H prime psi 0.
Very good. Sorry. So what do I write? Psi 0 means what?
Sir, the board has become blurred.
बोर्ड में से नहीं देख सकते हो psi 0 H prime psi 0, right? Psi 0 is written here.
Yes, sir. Psi 1 is 1, psi 1 is 2, psi 1 is 3.
Psi 1s1, psi 1s2, psi 1s3, right? H prime psi 1s1, sorry. Then what will happen? You think while I am writing. You tell me what is the next step. What is the next step? How do I do this? What happened? Very easy. So, Monica, you, bolo,
Yes, sir.
you have
Sir,
H prime is
Yes,
3
sir. You
terms,
can put the value of H prime.
R23 plus 1 over R31, right? So what will happen? Just think one by one. So suppose I take this guy. What will happen? This, 1 over R12, this. How do I write that? Tell me.
Integration.
Yeah?
Psi 1 is star 1,
Hmm.
psi 1 is star 2, psi 1 is star 3,
Hmm.
1 by R12,
Hmm.
then psi 1 is 1,
Hmm.
psi 1 is 2, psi 1 is 3.
So that will be, now we simplify.
1 by R12.
Yes, then? How do I simplify that term? I just did not write something for you. You see that? I just left something omitted. I did not write something. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
So that does give you some hint. So I need to write such things for this guy also. So I just, because these are two electrons, right? The distance between the two electrons, right? R12 means.
Yeah.
So 1, 2 is just same as 2, 3 and 1, 3.
Yes.
So if I just understand one such term, I can do the others,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
That's the strategy, because your psi 0 is same for everybody. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So that's why I am concerned only with one term. So you just simplify this term. How do I simplify? This psi s1, psi s2. What is the volume element? You did not tell me what is the volume element. Can you tell me?
I have R1 square, R2 square.
I just want to d tau for the whole r theta phi, you know.
Yes.
D tau. These will be with respect to the coordinates.
R1 square of R2 square and of R3 square.
R3 square? How many?
Sorry. Sorry, R1 square and R2 square.
So I just want to write d tau 1, d tau 2,
Yeah.
which will cover R1 square, that whole thing, volume element, R square sin theta d theta d1, right, d theta d phi,
Yes.
R square sin theta dr d theta d phi.
Yes.
So R1 square, so this is a shorthand for R1 square sine theta 1 d theta 1 d phi 1. This is a shorthand for R2 square sine theta 2 d theta 2 d phi 2. Okay? What about the third electron? Is the third electron coming into picture? The 1s3, what will happen to 1s3? Because this is an operator, right? So if this is an operator and if you are doing integration with respect to the coordinates of 1 and 2, what is the problem with the 1s3? I just want to write 1s3 like this. Because it has no impact on 1 over R12. You see that? It is just like a product integration. Yes or no? I can separate 1s3 like that.
Yes, sir.
That is the only little idea that you have to apply, right? You understand?
Sir, but we also have the 1 by R31 part.
So that is why I did not write. I am just writing this whole stuff is for only one of them.
Yeah.
But as far as this is 1 over R12, this is like this.
Okay.
When you will take R23 or R31, you cannot do like this. But one of them will come out.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So if you just, because these are exactly, electrons are indistinguishable. Remember, the most important word is indistinguishable. That you have no way to understand which one is electron 1, which one is electron 2, which one is electron 3. But you do understand there are two electrons interactions. Right? So if you understand the interaction term of 1 or 2, it is exactly same as 2, 3. That is exactly same for 3, 1. It has to be because your size is same for everybody, na? How can the mathematics give you different answer for 2 electrons which are 3 electrons which are indistinguishable, right? So this is for 1 over R12 we are doing. If you do R over 2, 3, तो क्या होगा? तुम्हारा 1 will come out here, right? If you do it for 3, 1, then you will still have 2 electron interaction and these 2 will come out. So, but they are all identical. So that means for this guy, I can safely write that this whole stuff is actually nothing but 3 times of this guy. That's what the strategy. Right?
Yes.
So that's why I am interested only this. But if I take 1s, if I take my 1s functions to be normalized, then I can write 1s3 to be 1. Right? So at the end of the day, I am left with this integration. Right? And this I have already given you as an exercise. This is the same integration that you needed for helium.
Yes.
Right? So if you do that, so E03, now you can put the value up. So this becomes 5z over 4. This integration becomes 5z over 4. You must have worked out. Right? 3 into half. So that gave you 153 point electron volt. Very simple, those of you who have problem. So Somalika, you have understood?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what is my total energy? E0 plus E1. So what does that mean? E0 plus E is equal to, up to the first order correction. I did not do any second order correction. Up to the first order correction, you can add these two guys. So that gives you minus 214. इसके साथ इसको add करो, minus 214.3 electron volt. So that is the energy of the lithium if I choose the electron configuration to be 1s3. No Pauli exclusion principle known at that time. Okay? So there is no periodic table. We have assumed that 1s3 is okay. We just want to decimate whether this idea that 1s3 is not okay. But how did people come to this conclusion? That is the whole story of science. Right? So, but the experimental value is the final word. That gives me energy to be, the total energy to be minus 203.5 electron volt. That is the observed. I applied the perturbation theory. It has given me energy minus 214.3 electron volt. I have the true energy to be minus 203.5 electron volt. Do you see any problem with this? Do you see any problem? So Malika, can I take this answer?
So no, it does not match with the experimental value. So we have to do further correction.
It doesn't match. Of course, theory will not match, but that still will take a lot of things, But can we at all accept this?
Yeah, it is quite close to the experimental value.
That is where you are wrong. Until this point, you are okay, all okay. But this is where you made a fundamental mistake. I cannot take this hijibiji. These are all garbage. You know why? Because your total energy has fallen down to the exact value. Variational principle you have studied, right? The approximate energy cannot go below the 2 energy.
Yes.
How can you forget the 2 pillars of quantum mechanics, variational theorem and perturbation theorem? Right? So there must be, it is not just a mistake in the error, it's a fundamental error in the understanding. कुछ error इतना होता है हम मान लेते हैं, पर कुछ error होता है fundamental, that is not acceptable. You understand? So this logic, one of the reasons why electron configuration cannot be mismatch हो सकता है. It must remain not below. You see this? This number has to be above this. It cannot go below. So that cannot take this. I cannot take this 1s3 electron. Okay. So this is a very simple proof that why 1s3 is for me. But we have proofs. Let us do. So illustration, the configuration of the periodic was arrived at. So let us now how this illustrated by simple mathematics. This is not satisfying our theorem. Now I want to apply, I can actually very simple that I was doing yesterday. So I'll take the electron configuration and I'll try to form the antisymmetric wave function as such. इसमें क्या problem है? ठीक है? So I would like to form the antisymmetric wave function. So the basic principle is again the same. So my 1s1, 1s2, 1s3, that is my spatial function, right? So I need to take the spin. Let us bring spin into the picture. So I don't write that because I need to see what kind of spin function I have to bring. But 1s1, 1s2, 1s3, that is my spatial function because 3 electrons are in the 1s orbital. That is the only orbital where they can go. So is this a symmetric function or antisymmetric function? Shomolika, are you there?
This is a symmetric function.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
How many exchange operators did you perform? How many exchange operators I have to perform to say this?
3.
What are those?
E12, E23, E31.
Very good. So if you work for it, P12, P13, P12, P23, P13. Every time you get the original function back. ठीक है? No question. So this is definitely a symmetric space function. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can I make it antisymmetric? Can it be antisymmetric ever? If 1s3 electron configuration to be accepted, there is no way it can become, right? So what is my job now? The total wave function has to be antisymmetric. That is what Pauli exclusion principle has told you, right?
Yes, sir.
So what do I have to do?
And we have to find an antisymmetric spin function.
Yeah, that's right. So I have to find out a spin function which is antisymmetric. So I want to find out that function. So let us do some hunting, okay? Let us do some hunting for this spin function which is antisymmetric. Why do I have to talk so much about this? Why do I have to talk so much? I did not speak so much about the spin function in the 2 electrons, but I have to talk so much for the 3 electrons. Why? Suppose I have one spin function, second spin function, third spin function for the 3 electrons, right? Here also you have 3 electrons, each of them having a one spin function, right? So how many combinations are there? Can you tell me what are the F and G? So 3 arbitrary spin functions for 3 electrons, F1, G2, H3. What are F1? Spin function of an electron. How many are they?
Spin function.
Spin function of a single electron. This is single electron. This is single electron. This is single electron. How many spin functions are possible for an electron? Anybody else? You can write in the chat box. 2. Your friends are saying 2, and one of them is alpha, one of them is beta. You agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Why did not you have? Why could not you answer this? It's so trivial question, right?
Yes.
Right. So each of them can have alpha and beta. That is the problem. Now can you tell me, just looking at what is the combination which will be antisymmetric? Is it easy for me to tell? Anybody else? Can I easily tell? What will be
Alpha.
the,
If we take alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, that will be symmetric. Alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 3 means all the alpha alpha beta combinations will be antisymmetric.
huh? All the alpha alpha and beta combinations will be antisymmetric. How easily you told me?
No means neither symmetric nor antisymmetric.
So if I take alpha alpha alpha, it is symmetric.
Yeah.
It's no use for me. If I take beta beta beta,
That's
it is also
symmetric.
symmetric. No use for me. Then I have this alpha beta and all these kind of combinations I have to look for. Right? Now imagine if I have more than another electron. If I have another electron, say suppose the 4th electron for the periodic table, I do need to consider again. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So every time I have one more electron added, I have to do this exercise. Right? So that's why we are going to discuss for the 3 electron problem in a systematic manner. So let us see how we can form an antisymmetric function for the 3 electrons. Okay? That is what is the job. Is the problem clear? I did not say spin function. Let us see what is the antisymmetric function for 3 electrons. It could be space function, it could be spin functions. हमको चाहिए spin function for this configuration, right? But we'll do it for general 3 electrons. So that means I will assume that F is not only an alpha function or beta function, that means not only a space function, but it could also be a spin function. Sorry, not only a spin function, but not only, but it could also be a spin function, sorry, space function. Similarly for G2, I can say sigma 2 or R2. That means this exercise that we are going to work, it can be true for both space functions or spin function. You understand? We do not need to attach anything special. Is it clear? Do you understand, Shomalika?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to find a general problem, general solution to this problem. But interestingly, what you will see is that this exercise will be true even for if I take a combined space spin function of the electron, which is of course the one we want. So that means if my f function is a combined function of two coordinates, combined function of the space and spin variable. So it can be, this exercise can be true for spin functions alone, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3. These exercises can be true for R1, R2, R3. This exercise can be true for X1, X2, X3. That covers all the scenario that we can think of. Is that clear? Before we turn the problem, before we go for the solution, let us understand the problem clearly. Sabko malum hai question? Did you understand, Somalika?
Yes, sir.
Can you say what is the problem?
Sir.
Yes, speak. Hello?
Sir, I did not understand the last part what you said.
Okay. So last part you did not understand. So let me see if somebody else did understand. Sujana, you answer this. Now we are happy with, if we are happy if the question is understood well before we look for answers. So who can tell me the question that we are trying to solve? Sujana, please answer. Chita bro, bolo. Let me see those people who did not speak at all. सोमिली, तुमने कुछ नहीं बोला अभी तक. नहीं? Okay, Shiv Kumar, you want to speak? अरे बाबा कोई तो बोलो. That is the problem in our system. No? We are teaching so much to answer the question, but we have not taught them how to pose a question. That's the biggest problem. Priyangshu, what is the question? I just spoke for 5 minutes to tell you the problem. Manish? अरे बाबा बोलो. Sir, could you repeat again? Okay. Surabhi, did you understand? At least speaks, then I know how much did you understand.
Sir, somewhat. So, one second. Is my voice clear?
There is some problem. Some issue is there. Okay. I really wanted you to answer this, you know. Just say somebody something, you know. Why are you so afraid?
Sir, we need to form an antisymmetric function with this F1 G2 H3 combination, which is generalized. Like this F1 can be the spin function, can be the alpha beta only spin, or with the radial part, or both combination.
No. That is, तुमने बहुत सारे काफी तक ठीक बोले थे. FGH क्या हो सकते हैं वो फिर से बोलो. बाकी सब ठीक है तुम्हारा. What could be FGH? फिर से बोलो.
Sir, it can be the spin function, means
That means
the combination of special orbital and spin, or special function and spin function.
Tell me, what is FGH? F when you say spin function, that means what? What can be F, what can be G, what can be H? Bolo?
So when we are considering only spin, it can be alpha beta like the sigma we are saying.
It means
F,
who?
F, F,
F.
F.
F can be alpha beta, right?
Yes.
Very good. What can be GH?
Yes, this also can be alpha beta. Like what F will be?
They all can be G
Yes,
alpha
sir.
and beta, right?
Yes.
Make it
Yes, sir.
clear in life. There is no need to run. So FGH, those of you who did not understand, FGH can be all three can be either of the two functions, alpha or beta. But so many combinations can be possible, right? What else can be FGH? So in this case also that answer should come. What else?
It can be the combination of special and spin function.
What about the special functions?
The special function, like if you're considering the one is, then one is then alpha one. Then the combinations will be like
special
that.
function doesn't have alpha.
No, means the combination, like the special function will be only one is one, or one is two, one is three.
Rohan, see, wait a second. FGH, the reason I have given these three functions different name, because I do not want to assume whether FGH is same. That is a very special case of FGH. इसलिए तुम्हारा 1s, 1s, 1s कर दिया. But if I give three different functions, 1s, 2s, 3s, if your F, please understand, F can be any of these orbitals in this world. हाइड्रोजन के लिए कितना ऑर्बिटल है? One electron can be accommodated in any orbital in this world.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
लिथियम एटम का तो एक ही कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं है. लिथियम का जो स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी होता है इनफाइनाइट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है.
Yes, sir.
Right?
But here we are considering 1s3, like the 3 electrons are in 1s. So that's why the special part we will consider 1s1, 1s2, 1s3 like this.
That is why I have asked you what is the problem. The problem ठीक नहीं तुमने कुछ समझे but गड़बड़ है. 1s1, 1s2, 1s3 I have said that this is the spatial configuration. But when we wanted to the spin function, I said that I am telling you again like a child. So 1s2, 1s3, 1s3 का जो spin function है, antisymmetry function, we wanted to find out. When we wanted to find out the antisymmetric spin function, right, for 3 electrons, that will be the general problem for every single spatial configuration. If my electrons stay in the 1s1, 2p1, 2p2, 3d3, if I have a configuration like this instead of 1s3, तब भी तो ये exercise करना पड़ेगा हमें. Still, I have to find out an antisymmetric combination of the antisymmetric or symmetric combination of the 3 spin functions, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? But why are you saying that this exercise, I am doing it considering 1s? I am not doing it considering 1s. 1s is just happen to be very easy. That is why I wrote it is a symmetric function. But if I give you a function like this, can you tell me whether this function is symmetric or antisymmetric, or how are you going to find out symmetric function? It is easy or not? It is not so easy. Right? Because you have to take certain linear combination just like the way you did it for 2 electrons. Right? So your FGH can be any functions of space variables too. Just like spin function के लिए तुम्हारा पास 2 है सबके लिए. Right? Do you have any more function here I can write?
No.
Only 2 function. But the space के लिए how many choices I have? I have infinite choice. You understand?
Yes.
Right? So I can write all the 1s, 2s, 2p, 3d, 4f, it could be any of these functions. Similarly, g could be also any of these functions. Right? Similarly, H could also be any of these functions because one electron can stay in any place. So if I arbitrarily put 1s, first electron in the 2s, second electron in the 3d, fourth electron in the 1s, what is my symmetric and antisymmetric combination? That also I want to find out. You understand? In the last part, so this is one exercise, answer will come for this problem. The answer will also come for this problem. But interestingly, answer will also come for this problem, where you are saying that it could be a combined, Bolo, now you are saying?
It could be combined spatial and spin, both.
Combined spatial and spin, can you give an example?
Yes, sir.
I have given very clear example.
Yes,
Bolo?
sir. One example will be 1s1 alpha 1.
1s1 alpha 1, okay?
Another example will be 2s1 alpha 1.
2s1 alpha 1. Another example I want.
3d1 beta 1.
3d1, now you have understood. I can go, how many functions can we write? All the combinations of this and this. One space function, one spin function. हर एक combination यहाँ पे हो सकता है. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, what can I write for G? Give an example.
1s1 beta 1.
Why are you saying 1?
Anything. It can be 4f1 beta 1. Sorry, 2. Sorry, sir.
So 1s2 beta 2, okay? It can be, now you say 4f2 alpha 2. It could be anything, that's right. It could be, as long as you have an alpha as a space function and spin function, I can write any such combination, right? And then the same thing will be, say for example, 4f3 alpha 3, okay? I can write 1s3 alpha 3, okay? I can write 1s3 beta 3, right? So if I understand this particular problem, so for each of these problems, for each of these cases of FGH, I want a general procedure. मुझे एक ऐप चाहिए जो हमको एंटीसिमेट्रिक और सिमेट्रिक कॉम्बिनेशन किसी इलेक्ट्रॉन का दे दे. जैसे तुम लोग झट से क्लिक मारते हो, ऐप आ जाता है. समझे? हमें एक एल्गोरिथम चाहिए, हमें एक प्रिस्क्रिप्शन चाहिए, ताकि किसी फ्लू के लिए वैक्सीन की तरह मिल जाए. यू अंडरस्टैंड? तो दीज आर ऑल द पॉसिबिलिटीज जो हमें चाहिए. आप समझ आया रोहन?
Yes, sir.
So Malika, did you understand now? ठीक है. Thank you, Rohan. Is that clear, Somalika? Okay. Adrija, is it clear now? Surabhi, is it clear? Okay, very good. I hope it is clear. So you see that it is not a trivial problem. I wrote it for 3. If I have to have more than 3 electrons, then also you have this dilemma, right? So let us please remember the meanings attached to the functions. Otherwise, it is very boring, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Now that we want to do this, why? Because at the end of the day, we'll apply this exercise to this case, where the 3 electrons are defined, 3 electrons are attended by the 3 spin functions. Why? Because in this particular example, my spatial function is symmetric. मुझे एक antisymmetric spin function चाहिए. But if I change the configuration, if I say that okay, 1s1, 2p2, 3d2, इसके लिए अगर करना है मुझे तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? That means then my exercise for the spatial orbital is also non-trivial. What do I do? I'll take this spatial. First, I will apply this answer, the solution to the 1s, 2p, 3d functions, 3FGH functions, which are 1s1, 2p2, 3d3. उसके लिए मैं देखूंगा जे क्या एंटीसिमेट्रिक हो सकता है, एंटीसिमेट्रिक हो सकता है. I will find out from this answer. Then I will do the same exercise for alpha beta, because it doesn't matter which orbital you put it, the electrons have only 2 spin functions. It is the spatial functions which can be different. Spatial functions can be infinitely different, but the spin functions are only 2 in this world, right? So whatever I do exercise for this spatial function, sorry, spin function for this particular exercise, it will be true for every single electron configuration, because you are not changing the spin function. Everything clear? Then we'll move to the solution of this problem. Manish, is it clear? Chalo, let us see. Okay. So how do I deal with this problem? Of course, you can make some guesses. So I start with this. Of course, one thing is clear. It doesn't matter which functions they are, whether space function or spins function or space speeds function. One thing is sure, that they are in 3 electrons. That much is guaranteed. Okay? So I start with this. Right? Of course, you see that it is a combinatorial problem, but it is very easy to understand that. And if you understand it for 3 electrons, you will understand it for every single number of electrons. So the exercise is very simple. But, so you said that the basic idea is that if this is the function, say suppose this is a function called f123, I call this function, right? The moot idea is that I want to operate on all these operator. Either in order for this to be symmetric, I must get back f123. And not only for 1, 2, 3, so P12 F123 is equal to P13 F123, not 1. Remember, symmetric means all the exchanges is equal to P23 F123. All of these must give me the original function back. If that happens, then I call this function symmetric function. Of course, at this point you can see that, or if I do this, P12 F123 is equal to P13 F123 is equal to P23 F123 is equal to a big minus F123. Then I say that I have found an antisymmetric function. That is my understanding. तो इतना सारे सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा. Okay. So ठीक है. So basically first I do, so suppose P12. एक तो करके देखते हैं, इतना सारे बातें हैं. What happens to P12? Somebody please write. So definitely, why do I need to write? Because you can see that this function by itself is a symmetric function or not, or antisymmetric function. Who can say? Is it a symmetric function or antisymmetric function? Before I do anything, let us examine. Tahiti is very fast, says that neither. What about others? None of them. Surajit, you understand? Neither, very good. So this function is neither. That is why इसीलिए मुझे करना पड़ेगा. Right? And because I told you that for a collection of particles, your function must be either symmetric or antisymmetric. चाहे वो space function हो, spin function हो. And individually they must be both symmetric or antisymmetric. But their overall combination for fermions must be antisymmetric. Overall combination for bosons must be symmetric. But individually they must be either symmetric or antisymmetric. You cannot just leave it like that. So I just do my first permutation. What happens? So this become F2 G1. I think it is better to write G1 F2 H3. Okay? The only trick that I am having in this world is to make a linear combination. Right? So I make a linear combination. So let us see. I think we should erase this guy. Which one I should erase? Okay. So I said, okay, my function f1, 2, 3. As I keep on doing, I will write. So I said that, okay, let us make a f1, g2, h3 plus or minus g1. I think it is better to write f2, g1, h3. f2, g1, h3. f2, g1, h3. I have gotten one step. Okay? So can you examine if this function is symmetric or antisymmetric? Very quickly. This function I got f1, 2, 3. So if I take the plus or minus combination, can you tell me if I have gotten my symmetrical function, this function, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, neither symmetric nor antisymmetric. That I understood. But what about this guy? Either plus or minus combination. Is it symmetric or antisymmetric? Say suppose plus combination. How do you do that? You put p12 on that function and write it and see that you have gotten the original function back. You got it? So Morika says that symmetric. p12, right? What about p1? So if, that means you are saying that if I do p12 on this whole function, that means p12 of this function with a plus sign gives me back the original function. यही बोल रहे हो? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, very good. But then what happens if I do a p13? Because that is why I explicitly wrote this here. You just cannot be happy with p12. You also have to be happy with p13. Can you please do that? What will happen to p13? Are you getting the original function back? Are you getting the original function back? Neither. So you are not getting the original function back. You understand? If I do this p23, then are you getting the original function back? So what can I do? Easy solution. You know, we have Fevicol for a lot of easy solutions. So what is your solution? What is this observation must give you some solution. So definitely this function is not acceptable because it is just for 1, 2 it was symmetric. And similarly you will do it antisymmetric. वो तो होना ही था because you have done only 1, 2. तो इस दोनों को तो कॉम्बिनेशन ले लिया, ठीक है, उसमें माइनस साइन भी मिल जाएगा, तुम माइनस लगाओगे तो एंटीसिमेट्रिक मिल जाएगा. But the problem is that just p12 is not enough. When you tested for p13 it failed. When you tested for p23 it failed. And same thing will happen if you do it for p23 and p13 about the minus sign. So just like this function is not acceptable. So what do I do? That is a good idea. Carry out p2, 3 and 3, 1 as well as do linear combination. This is precisely what we will do. But let us see. So p13 हो गया, p13 करेंगे. So what will happen? f3, g2, h1. Okay? And then p23 करेंगे. p23 करेंगे तो क्या होगा? f1, g3, h2. So now I will add this, all these 4 terms, this plus this plus this plus this. Right? Of course, it needs to be written down. But do you see any flaw in this argument? Or is this the answer to my question? So that's why we need some ideas. Okay, I think we'll do it in the class tomorrow or maybe next day. So I think because it will take some time. So tomorrow, so we are meeting at 7 o'clock, okay? Surbi, yes?
Yes, sir, today.
Today 7 o'clock. And I request all of you to क्या बोलते हैं तुम्हारा to just on your video, okay, so that we can see you for some time. I'm not going to be very strict, okay? Just for a safety measure, okay? So I will see you then at 7 o'clock. And this exercise you please do. It's a very interesting exercise. So please add these 4 terms and see whether you have achieved the Eureka moment. Okay? And you will see that there is something very funny. Okay, I think it's already 3 o'clock. We cannot finish it today, so we'll do it in the next class.
Okay, sir. Sir, you had said that it would be open book. So even if that is the case, the video should be on.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye.